You want to know how to do body recomposition simply. Well, you're in luck because I'm going to answer that question in this video. What's up? I'm Sawyer with Resurrected Body Recomposition. As usual, you are gay. I'm going to make this video without any cuts, edits, a script, images, colors, music, pictures, graphics, naked guys, naked girls. Hold on. Because I'm not a fag like all the other YouTubers. I had something in like my throat. I don't know what it was. It's gross though. So, how do you do body recomposition simply? How do you make it simple? Where you don't have to follow, 20 steps. That's what I'm going to give you. I'll make it super simple for you. 4 steps. Not 1. Not 2, not 3, 4. If that's too much for you, body recomposition is not for you. Fitness in general probably isn't for you. Because fitness in general, there are multiple steps. So, you can't get any more simple than what I'm saying right here. So, how do you do it? Step 1. You need to be in a calorie deficit, slight calorie deficit, or eating at your caloric maintenance. I'll explain the steps a little bit more in depth after I lay them out. Step 2, you have to be getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. Step 3, you have to be working each muscle group at least 1 time per week, going until failure. And step 4, you need to be tracking your progress. So step 1. Eating at a calorie deficit or your caloric maintenance. What does that mean? Caloric maintenance is how many calories you need to eat in a day to maintain your weight. So let's say your caloric maintenance is 2,000 calories. If you eat 2,000 calories each and every day, you will stay the weight you are. I got like a bunch of shit in my throat. I don't know, like... So, that's a caloric maintenance. What's a calorie deficit? Caloric deficit. That is eating less calories in a day that you need to maintain your weight. That probably didn't make any sense. I think I fucked that up. A caloric deficit is eating less calories than what you need in a day to maintain your weight. So it's under your caloric maintenance. That makes sense? That makes sense. Now you're wondering, which one should I do? Should I eat at a caloric deficit? If so, how much? Or should I eat at my caloric maintenance? Well, this is something you kind of have to play with. Everybody's a little different. Alright? But what I would recommend, what I would think, is if you are super fat, like 400, 500, 600 pounds, eat at a fucking deficit. Alright? Eat at a deficit. And if you're that heavy, the deficit can be pretty big. You can do a 500 calorie deficit per day, 1,000 calorie deficit per day. But if you're just, like a little pudgy or not super fat, like you can still move around and do normal shit without running out of breath, and you want to try eating at a caloric deficit, go right around like 100 to 200 calories caloric deficit per day. Try that out. You might have to play with it. Everybody's different. But if you are not a very big guy, not fat, just a little bit pudgy, I would eat at your caloric maintenance because you don't have much fat to lose. So think of it, the more fat you have to lose, the higher deficit you can be in. So if you're super fat, be in a deficit. If you're not very fat and you're still trying to do body recomposition, eat at your maintenance. Now, you might have to play with it, like I said. That's life. That's life. You gotta play with it sometimes, you know what I mean? Step 2, you need to be getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. What does this mean? If you're 200 pounds, shoot for 200 grams of protein per day. If you can't get that, shoot for as much as you can. Step 3, you need to be working each muscle group at least 1 time per week going until failure. You're gonna have to fucking go to the gym. Sorry, I know you don't want to hear it, but that's the truth. But with me, following my shit here, you only have to go 1 time a week. 1 time a week, baby. But you gotta go until failure, hitting each of the muscle groups. What are your muscle groups? Biceps, right there. Triceps, shoulders, chest, back, abs, legs. If you work your forearms enough, we'll leave those out of it. Those are your muscle groups. Those are your muscle groups. What is going until failure? Think of a bicep curl. You're curling, and you just can't get it up, and you start shaking, drop it. That's failure. That's what you have to do. For me, now you're like, well, what about sets and reps? What should I do? Exercises. I don't even do sets and reps. I do 6 minutes of 3 exercises per muscle group going until failure. For example, when I do chest, I do bench press for 6 minutes. I can't go the full 6 minutes without taking a break. So when I get to the point where I get until failure, I rack the bar, take a 10-15 second breather, get back into it. And I do that for 6 minutes. The second exercise, stuttered there. Second exercise is incline press, right? 6 minutes, when I can't do anymore, break, 10 seconds, back into it. Third exercise, usually some type of fly. So 6 minutes, failure, take a little rest, back into it. That's what I do. I don't do sets and reps. I think it's gay. If you do 3 sets of like 10 reps, unless you're really pushing yourself in those 3 sets and 10 reps, nothing's gonna change, man. That's just retarded. So that's my little piece of wisdom for you. And step 4 is to just track your progress. Track your progress. How do you track your progress? Weigh yourself once a week in the morning, before you shower, before you eat, after you shit, after you piss. This will give you the most accurate weight measurement possible. And that's that. That is body recomposition. That is body recomposition made simple. Fairly simple. There were some terms you might not have known, but for the most part, pretty simple, right? I thought so. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, get fucked. If you did, drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop a share, drop a follow, drop something. Drop something. Hope you enjoyed Sawyer Resurrected Body Recomposition.